Howdy, howdy. Back at it again with more viewer match analysis. This video going to be a little bit different. Gonna try something a little new. Gonna have two viewers in one video. Just see how it works. In part because I feel like there's not as much to say watching these, and then in part just because I've gotten like a dozen or so requests, and I want to try to get through them in less than a year. So let's just jump into it. So start out, this kind of just walking forward, you challenge, I love it. Okay, this is good. If he just wants to walk forward mindlessly, beat him up. Go for the Oki that I love, that I do in my Oki video. Only thing here, okay, so off of this, you can combo into back heavy punch. You lose like 600 damage going for the route you go for here. That's pretty significant. Because you also, you lose damage, you lose corner carry. So switch to doing back heavy punch afterwards. It also is a 1 frame gap on block. So if they try to jump out, if they block the stand heavy punch, it'll catch them. It's a very good sequence. Try to incorporate it. Here we go for it again. He blocks. And this is what I'm talking about. So here you go for command grab, which is fair, right? He blocks it. He's like, okay. He's holding north, that's fine. Read just doesn't pan out, it's whatever. But if you do back heavy punch here, it'll catch that. Finger combo, him puts you in the corner. So something that I've noticed, and I want to mention it right now, is I don't think you back recover once. So I don't know if you actually just don't know how, but let's explain that right now. So back recover, really useful. You can see it as an option. The reason you want to do it is if I have, for example, concept recover in place, see how close that is? I can just force command grab mix up. But if he does back recover, whoops, all of a sudden he's further away. So another reason that's good is say he does something like this, okay? Actually, let me just show with Marisa. So that whiffs, right? But on normal recover, or on recover in place, that hits, and you can force a strike throw mix up afterwards. So back recover just sort of eliminates the Oki off of regular throws mid-screen. Otherwise, in the corner, it's like the same situation, right? That's where like the throw loop stuff comes from. But mid-screen, that shouldn't happen. So the way you do that is you just hit or hold any 2 buttons while you're in the air. So for example, if I have him just wake up with this and I get hit by it, I can just hold any 2 buttons and all of a sudden I back recover. You see how different that looks? Where if I just let him hit me and I don't push anything, see, I stand up like that and I'm a lot closer. But if I just hold any 2 buttons down, I back rise. Or, excuse me, why am I being so stupid about it? If I hit them like right now, too early. But you can just sort of hit them like there, like anytime when you're close to the ground and you'll back recover. And it just makes Oki a lot harder for them to do. So you should really back recover pretty much all of the time. Okay, back to the analysis. Okay, so hopefully you can see how back recovering is really helpful, because it's going to create situations where you just aren't giving up the pressure that I think you're giving up here. Okay, here, this was in my last match analysis video. We looked at some anti-Ken stuff, so if you're curious, you go check that out right now and, come back when you're done. He DIs it, you get punished. It happens. He drops his combo. So there he goes, jab, jab, jab. And then he just crouch, jab, crouch, medium kick. Jeez, okay. This game makes people play like nut jobs. Because we need to talk about this. This crouch jab, I could not go back far enough, I can go back far enough. Okay, crouch, crouch, medium kick. So his crouch jab is what on block? It's like -1, I think. Throws you. I mean, this hits, right? It's like, this isn't that big of a gap, but my point being that on hit, it's not that big, but on block, it's a pretty significant gap, and people do it anyway. Okay, here, he's only +2, so delay tech is actually pretty safe there, depending on how much you delay it by, because he has to commit to a shimmy extremely hard. You do instant tech, and therefore you get hit by it, but he could have killed there, but he chose not to, and goes for the throw. Okay. So there's like, you kind of just got stuck in the corner, and Ken is super good in the corner. I mean, just kind of none of your reads worked out. You tried to mash, and it didn't work. You tried to jump, it didn't work. I mean, sometimes you have rounds like that. Okay, you just gotta try to get a feel for what the dude wants to do. So again, here he's just holding forward this whole time. Looks exactly like the last round. This time he blocks. You go for this. He tries to mash out. We do that. Okay, so something I've come around to, and you couldn't do it here, okay, because you just didn't have enough time, because this wasn't a confirm. This is just a string, but just kind of throwing it out there. You can combo into light kick quadriga from this instead, and it's a way better knockdown. So you shouldn't do it. Like, what you did here is right. This is just kind of me mentioning it in passing. If you notice that it's going to be a confirm, you can do quadriga instead. Okay, I like it. What do we finish? Charge it. Okay, cool. Now, what are we trying to do to continue this pressure? So something like, there's a couple things we could do here. We could push a button, right? You can hit stand medium punch, you're +4. It'll counter hit him if he does anything. You can hit like stand light kick, because that'll definitely reach. You can hit crouch medium kick. You can hit stand medium kick, right? Point is just being your +4, hit stand heavy punch. You know, try to continue the pressure. Charge Gladius in his face. Up forward's not great. Like, he doesn't do anything about it, which is fine. But you're +4, and this is like, it's one thing to steal like a couple frames. Like if you hit stand medium kick, that's 11 frames, and you know you're +4, so like technically he could jab you out, you know, or hit, you know, stand heavy punch and he could interrupt it or whatever. But doing a forward jump is pretty risky there. He tries to jump, he thinks you're gonna command grab him. I'm not sure why we drive rush here. Okay, this kind of seems like we're throwing away bar. To me, it's just medium punch Gladius there, right? It's just medium punch, medium punch, medium punch Gladius, go into Oki. I think that's what I would have done there. I think if I'm thinking in my head is you had already committed to doing medium punch, drive rush, command grab, but then he didn't block, so you just autopiloted and still did the medium punch. Or excuse me, still did the drive rush. That would be my guess, but obviously I don't know. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, in the corner, always end this combo with medium punch Gladius, because it's the exact same knockdown and it just does more damage. Okay, so don't ever do this medium punch slam in the corner. It's pretty much like, it's just obsolete in the corner. Okay, I probably would have continued the combo there, but got the kill anyway. And then that was a round where your reads panned out, right? So like the last round, your reads didn't pan out. This round they did. So my thought is this guy started the last 2 rounds walking forward. You can see on the inputs, he's going to do it again. I would be thinking about throwing out medium kick, or maybe just drive rushing at him or jumping at him, because if he's walking forward, there is no way that he's thinking about anti-airing you. Try to do something that's just going to catch the jump forward. That would be my advice. Superman punch, forward jump, medium kick, heavy punch, walk, you know, just walk forward button would be my advice. He even kind of stops. I'm not sure what this neutral jump is trying to catch. He does medium kick, and now you're in the corner. I don't think he should have spent level 3 there. There's a couple different thought processes on this. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting little bug there. Okay, so there's a couple different thoughts on that, and I know I'm talking about the Ken's decision here, but just bear with me for a second. Some people are like, you spend it right away, because then you build more bar, right? So, I mean, if you've heard maybe Jayuna talk about this, you spend it early because then you are building more bar. Like when you have level 3, you're not building any meter. So it's maybe good to dump it and then build more bar later. I kind of more with Punk on this, where unless it's going to like burn him out, I usually save it until it'll kill or put him in gifts for game. And I think long term we'll see maybe what the better philosophy is there. But right now that's kind of more the camp I'm in. Feel free to discuss that with me, comments or whatever. Thoughts. I don't think I would have spent that there. Now, if you get a hit, I would spend level 3 because it puts him in the corner. Maybe. It's hard to say. I don't know. Okay, so we talked about this in my last match analysis video again. Good responses to that would be Heavy Punch Gladius. Okay, and I want to talk about this sequence, actually. So this is something I've been thinking about a lot defensively. So you try to push Medium Punch, which I understand it. I get clipped by that, too. I push it too much. I used to push back Heavy Punches Abigail too much. It can get kind of, tempting because you're like, I get so much reward if it hits. But it's 7 frames, so, like, probably mash jab if you're going to try to make the guess. You get countered anyway. But I do want to talk about this 3 light sequence that kind of a lot of characters have. But I just want to look at Ken specifically in this instance because I haven't tested every character, but let's go to the lab. You have like 3 lights on block, and if I try to mash at all, I get clipped, I get counter hit, right? But the thing is if you're blocking standing, the 3rd light whiffs, okay? So something that's been on my head is trying to stand up after blocking a couple of lights, right? So then the 3rd one whiffs and we can challenge more easily, right? Something like that. Right, because then if they go for this 3rd light, we get a punish counter. If they don't go for the 3rd light, all the jabs in this game are minus anyway, so if they go for something like, and I don't think I recorded this, but if they go for something like that, we'll of course win, right? So like, I think that's pretty good. And you're like, well, what if they go for like a crouch light kick or something? I think that's this recording. Let's see. Okay, so there it's like, you see how I got hit by the crouch light kick and he couldn't chain into the jab? And this light kick doesn't cancel, right? So to me, it's like, okay, block low the first one. And then after you block that first light low, stand up. Because what you'll see here is, I think that's right here, or maybe that's the one I just did. Okay. I'm only -1 if I get hit by this crouch light kick. So like, even doing something like this isn't the worst thing in the world. Right? It's not the worst thing in the world to just do this. Give me some space. Even this isn't bad. But this is something I've been playing around with, which is block low the first hit and then stand up after that. Because even if they clip you with the low, it's not that big of a deal, right? And it might force them to start doing really silly things like that, which people like to do, right? But doing something like this, because that's -1, so like, I mean, like, we can mash jab out of that. All of a sudden, you make them just not do frame traps, right? And you can interrupt that with like medium punch. Right, so it's like this huge risk for them to take. I think this should lose to, like, if we're tacking, it'll lose, right? So it turns into this pretty dangerous situation for them, because if they really want to, beat you just blocking low and then high, because again, the really powerful thing there is that third light will whiff. if you're blocking high. And again, so here, like, even if I get hit by this, that's still a whiff punish. Because it still whiffs. Even if this hits me, that's the third light still whiffs. So that's just something that's kind of in my head that I think is pretty strong on defense when people want to do these 3 light sequences. Now, obviously, people can, you know, like drive rush the lights or whatever, but my point being is I think it shuts down a lot of the autopilot garbage where people just get you in the corner and do this. It's just something to think about. It's another defensive option. So it's like crouch low, right? Block the first low, because that one they can chain into a crouch jab and then get a combo. But once you block the first light low, just stand up after that. Just something to play with. Back to the analysis. So this is one of those times where if you would have blocked this first hit low, so you crouch block the first light and then stand up, that third light would have just whiffed. And then your medium punch actually would have whiff punished him and you would have hit the huge combo you're trying for. I like it because this beats a lot of stuff. So I like this Gladius. I like this Gladius because it's going to beat a lot of stuff he wants to do. It's going to beat heavy punch. It's going to beat like drive rush into medium punch. It's going to beat Dragon Lash. Like, I like this Gladius because it's going to beat a lot of stuff. And he tries to punish it with the walk forward crouch medium kick, but it doesn't quite work. I like this. Command grab. There we go. Good. Okay, so you can keep this Oki going here. If we do drive rush medium punch, we can keep him locked down. I'm not worried about EXDP. It won't kill you. He'll die if you block it, so I don't think, if he's thinking straight, I don't think he'll do it. But also, he just hasn't shown me that he's going to do it, so I would not be worried about reversal at all here. And I would definitely drive rush. Backing off here doesn't make any sense. Like, you just got a knockdown. This is where you need to go, boom, I'm going to enforce my game plan, right? Instead, you're like, let's play neutral. Ken kicks your ass in neutral. Like, he beats you. And that's not, like, you specifically in this matchup. Like, maybe your neutral's good, maybe his neutral's bad, but whatever. In this matchup, you don't have a fireball. You don't have great response to this fireball. His drive rush is really hard to stop. You have to watch out for Dragon Lash. His crouch medium kick is obnoxious. Like, if you step forward, like, one more step each of you, you have to worry about crouch medium kick, which is not fun to deal with. Okay? He can throw out heavy punch, drive rush. Like, it's very obnoxious. So when you score a knockdown, you have to go all in and make him bet it all on the DP, right? You have to go all in, just pressure him, and then eventually he's going to try to Shoryuken, and you just block it and punish him. And if you don't block it, whatever, it doesn't do that much damage. That's how I feel about it, right? Now he's trying to zone you out fireballs, do something like that. Okay, so you do this a couple times in your other games too. I'm going to mention it right now. Doing this empty, and I see you kind of do a quarter circle here. I think you're kind of buffering, and then you're like, oh wait, it didn't hit. I shouldn't do the medium punch slam. Doing this empty on block is not good. It's -8. Do light punch Gladius. Okay, I have a video on that on medium punch target combo. It's a little old at this point, but most of it's I would still stand by, I think. Canceling into light punch Gladius here is safer. It's not as minus on block. There's a very small gap. It's like, I think 2 frame gap between the block stun. So like, it'll beat mashing, which is what he does here. So like, I guarantee it would have counter hit him. It's vulnerable to EXDP, but that's -8. So that's also vulnerable to EXDP. So like, you just kind of have to think about it. Good punish counter combo by him. Okay, what do we do on defense? Okay, we do it again. He tries to... I like the Gladius. Just got to be a little better with our Oki here. Right? So for me, it's 1, 2, 3 medium punch. Medium punch right now. Just push it. Push it, he'll get it. So just work on tightening up the meaty, because you had the win there. If you do a good meaty, because he mashed. Oh, you had the win again! I forgot about this. You won. You won. You challenged and you won. Medium punch, medium punch. Okay, so then, what is this? There's a billion combos you could do here. You could kill without super, but just medium punch Gladius level 3. Medium punch Gladius level 3. Or OD slam into quadriga into level 3, or light punch slam into level 3. I mean, there's so many routes you could go for here that would absolutely 100% kill. Just, again, I know spaghetti happens sometimes, but you had it. You had it. He's mashed there every time. It's like, this is something too, where literally every time you've done this, this guy's pushed a button, I swear, immediately. Cancel into light punch Gladius. Don't charge me. Okay, so that's the other thing. Medium punch Gladius has a much bigger gap. Okay, even when you charge it, has a much bigger gap. Go watch my video on light punch, or excuse me, on the medium punch mix-up if you haven't. It'll kind of walk you through some of the different options and how to deal with that. But this is a massive gap. And if you do light punch there, honestly, it might have punished the jab. So we'll just kind of think about that. But, it always sucks to lose when you win. You had the openings, you just didn't convert them. It's a shame. Okay, so on to game number 2. He's going to start the exact same way, and you're going to start the exact same way. Walk forward, walk back. Walk forward, walk back. I like the jump here, because I promise you he's not looking for it. Okay, boom. Pressure, command grab. This time, hey, we do take our Oki. So this is something where, in my command grab Oki video, I said, hey, decide. I've since changed my mind here. I like to do just one medium punch here all the time. So why don't I actually show that off? It'll take no time at all. To the lab. Off this command grab thing. Here's what I'm talking about. I talked about before, like in my command grab Oki video, I'm like, okay, you can do one medium punch and then cut it short. But decide if you're going to go for the medium punch. And then I was like, no, because then they can just kind of OS it. Or like they just OS the up forward. So what I do now is I just always do this if I'm going to melee with it. And what's nice is if they try to jump this, you can push medium punch again and catch their jump. So then it becomes more of a 50-50. Now, the only thing that I don't like about this, if I'm, doing full disclosure here, I can just have him wake up jump, is if you do this, that doesn't combo, right? So like if they hold up and then when they get hit, they start holding down back. It's very specific, like there it comboed. But the thing is at the range where it'll combo, the command grab will whiff. So something I've been trying to do a little unsuccessfully is work on that. And from the right spacings, if you can hit confirm the medium punch, which again, I'm not even sure if it's really possible or possible for me. At the most ranges, you can do this on hit and then that on block. But that's all I'm saying. So rather than, in the meantime, I've just been doing this all the time. But rather than decide, okay, I'm going to do the target combo right away, which is easier, I just say, okay, I'm going to do single medium punch, and then I'm either going to do medium punch again, right? Or I'm going to do medium punch and then cancel the command grab. Okay, back to the analysis. Okay, so just to kind of refresh the option, I would have done one medium punch and then another medium punch, and he probably gets counter hit because this dude just loves to push buttons. Okay, you probably have enough time to hit a heavy punch there to punish this. A lot more damage. I don't hate this though. Execution error happens. So once again, I talked about this sequence in my last match analysis video. Go check it out. If we back rise here, so that heavy kick dragon lash after throw, this is interruptible. So you just mash a standing button. Her stand jab will win clean. Her stand medium punch will win clean. It's not a particularly tight gap, but you can't crouch block and you can't hit a crouching button. But if you did, you can hit like a 7-frame standing button and knock him out of the air. Okay, we're okay. Take a couple throws, that's fine. Good. Good. Oki worked out. That was good patience in the corner. That was really nice. Okay, here we're doing the same thing. I kind of like the Gladius. I would throw a Superman Punch. Like, if this guy's super committed to just walking forward, I think Superman Punch is a great answer. Because the only things he's really done is he's walked forward and he's hit crouch medium kick. And Superman Punch is good against both of those. So I would just maybe throw out Light Punch, Superman Punch here. You try to jump and he's actually waiting for it, which is good by him. Yeah, that's why crouch block is so important on Wake Up. So that's the other thing. Again, we talked about back recover earlier. He doesn't really get, like, he would not be able to push this mix-up if he would have back recovered. So, like, honestly, I think when you start incorporating that, you'll realize that defense in this game is actually a little bit easier than maybe you've made it seem for yourself. Okay, again, he likes to mash there, so just doing Light Punch Gladius is kind of a big deal. Okay, here. Boom. I command grab. Okay. He saw it coming. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to take a second here to analyze the Ken's gameplay. I hate this. Okay, I absolutely hate this. There's 30 seconds left. I get not meeting there, right? Because if you wake up level 3, all of a sudden, he's in the corner, he's almost burnt out, he's feel like he has to guess for game. Like, I get why he doesn't want to meaty on that knockdown, but why on earth? Like, if you people are out here, and you're people that would do this, please explain this to me. Like, what are you so afraid? Like, I get you're afraid of getting up at level 3, but even if our hero here hits the Ken with Wake Up level 3, yeah, Ken's in the corner, but it's not really Gist for game, okay? Even if you hit him with a combo into level 3, he's not going to die, okay? So, like, I actually just don't quite understand this idea of I'm going to back up to full screen, right? Like, I'm a football guy. So, like, to me, this is like, it's 3rd and 5. It's 3rd and 7. I've got you where I want you. You know? I've made it really hard for you, right? Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to play, you know, drop coverage, and you can just throw for a first down. Makes no sense, right? It's the same thing as, like, when pitchers have guys 0-2 in baseball, and all of a sudden they just throw a bunch of balls in a row. They don't give him anything to swing at, and boom, now it's 3-2, right? You have the advantage here, right? Ken has the advantage here, okay? I don't understand why he backs off the full screen. Now, we do a good job, actually, of taking advantage of this a little bit, right? And we'll see that. But I think, like, Ken almost loses this round, and he shouldn't. Like, Ken should have won this a long time ago, but he backs off. So let this be a lesson to you. When you have your opponent where you want them, keep them there. Okay, let's learn from our opponents as well. Okay, I like the parry. Jump at him. That's fine. A little risky because DP would put you pretty close to dead. Okay, I promise you he's going to mash a button here. I kind of forgot, but I promise you he's going to. There we go. So just try to keep it tight. Against people that play like this, like, he puts himself in a really scary position here, because if you would have baited this, if you would have done, like, back heavy punch here, or stand heavy punch, I think, would have counter hit this maybe. No, stand medium kick would have counter hit this. He's all of a sudden in a really scary spot. Now, he closes it out, but it's one thing to play safe, right? It's another thing to just kind of give it all up entirely. Also, I will say this. If there was like 15 or 20 seconds left, backing off like that makes some sense, right? Or if you think, if he's somebody that, like, I've got godlike reactions and I'm just gonna, you know, do anything. If he tries to Superman punch, I'm gonna level 3 it or whatever, right? If he has like godlike reactions and he just wants to play like that, that's a little different. But a lot of people will back off like that, and it doesn't really make sense for them. Okay, so again, light punch, Superman punch, I think is really good here. And we're in the corner. Okay, level 3 again. I don't know that I like spending it early, but whatever. What do we do on defense? We block. We block crouching. He does an overhead. That's fine. He doesn't really get anything off of it. Keep blocking. Keep blocking. Good. Try to do Gladius. You've kind of done Gladius here a lot. He likes to back up and then do walk forward medium kick. Superman punch would be good. Just forward jump, honestly, would be okay. But we get another shot. He throws you out of the corner for some strange reason. That's another thing. Keep your opponent where you want him. Okay, keep him where you want him. Missed our chance to anti-air. He's done that a lot. Like, this is really this guy's favorite button. So, like, just make sure you're blocking your toes. Also, pushing a 7-frame button after you block a jump in where he is certainly plus like 5 or more, not the best choice. Cammy. What does Cammy like to do? We got to find something to beat with dive kick, right? We have to figure out kind of corner defense because she's got a throw loop. Her crouch medium kick is pretty good. That's kind of it, right? That's kind of, I'm not really too scared of this character in this game, to be honest with you. Like, I think she's strong. Okay, so there he's probably +1. So I just want to take the time to go to the lab and check out some stuff about her dive kicks on block, because you obviously didn't know a lot about how they worked. So you kind of let him get away with stuff that he should not have gotten away with. We're just going to look at Cammy's dive kick stuff. I just have her here set to do a dive kick. So if we block this high, like super high, -5, so like you can punish these. If you block these at like shoulder level, you can punish with crouch jab. Like, if she's up by your head, forget about it, right? Punishable. If you block it from like here, I'm still +2. Okay? +5. This, that was only even. Right? +4. Even. See how low she has to hit this to be plus? She has to hit like, try to set it up for her. Nope, that's still only even. There, that was only +1. So that's like super, almost tip range, just to be +1 for her. Right, if I make it a little easier for her, if she hits like absolute max range, whoop, which I think is like right there, she'll be like +2 or +3. There, that was +3. That's like hitting you in the toe. Basically, if she hits like at waist or above, you're plus. She has to hit you like below the knee for her to be plus. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of times that you'll see in the set where you block a dive kick like there, or maybe even there, and you let Cammy push jab. And in reality, you should be mashing crouch jab like all the time. And if you get one that's especially high, you should try to punish it. Back to the analysis. If you have a read that he's gonna dive kick, so like early on, I get it, but you're gonna see this type of a sequence a lot where it's like block normal into instant dive kick. If you know it's gonna happen, you can DI this. Okay, so if you're like, this guy is an idiot, he just keeps doing this, I hate people like this, just hit DI, you'll win. Okay, throw tech. Regular throw, good. We got a pseudo throw loop here. So you can do stand heavy punch here. Okay. That's right, I forgot this. You try to bait a DP here. I don't get it. Like, I honestly kind of don't understand why you're doing that. Like, maybe you played this guy last week or something, 2 weeks ago, before this, and you're like, he DP'd every time I knocked him down, and I'm going to bait it this time. I have no idea. But you're 10 seconds into the round. If he DPs you, so what? Like, I guess you'll be in the corner, but like, who cares? Okay, you're in the corner anyway because you tried to bait it. This is exactly what I was talking about with the Ken. And this is a lesson it took me a while to learn, right? I was playing Street Fighter 5. I'm like, why do I keep losing to all these Kens? And it's like, well, because I'm so scared of the EXDP that I'm not using my Oki, right? You have to take your Oki. Okay, Okay, if you get a knockdown, you have to use it. You have to. Okay? And unless they show you that they're a nut job that wants to DP all the time, don't bait it in the first 10 seconds of the round, right? Unless you like know the person and you're like, okay, I've played against this guy before and they're criminally insane. I'm going to block. It's fair, okay? And again, I have no way of knowing that. But for the most part, baiting a DP in the first 10 seconds of a round doesn't really make a lot of sense. Because even if he does it, sure, it's a ton of damage, right? But if you get hit by it, who really cares? Like, you're still winning. Just thought. Okay. And they just want to do nothing but that. Okay, I like the Gladius, but this is something you have to make sure you're doing this intentionally, because you kind of did this exact same thing against the Ken when you were in the corner and they were at this spacing. It was like, way to beat, charge Gladius. And so, it's just a thought. Because there you can react to the anti-air, but Gladius is a huge commitment. There, see? Now, the only thing I'll say here, and I've said it before, do light punch Gladius. The gap is just smaller, okay? It'll beat more things. It's safer against DI. Do you charge it? Please explain this neutral jump to me, because I don't get it. You're +4 off of charge Gladius. Push the offense, right? Hit medium punch again. Hit crouch medium punch. Hit heavy punch. Try to do something, right? Charge Gladius again. But, like, I guess I'm not sure what you think is coming that this is, like, a great option against, right? I guess that's my question. Like, what is this anticipating? Because that's something that I think people don't think about with, like, fighting games, right? They're like, I'm going to do this. And it's like, okay, it's one thing to play with your heart, but you got to have a reason to have a read. Otherwise, it's a guess, right? Otherwise, it's just doing something and it's, you know, it's a prayer. So if you're like, well, what if he does spiral arrow? It'll kill him. And it's like, yeah, but why would he do that, right? So, and maybe you're like, he's going to DI and then I'm going to get a huge punish. But if you think he's going to DI, why don't you just wait and DI it? If you think he, you know, it's like, explain to yourself, right? It doesn't have to be to me. But explain to yourself what this neutral jump is supposed to be. Okay, good back throw, get him in the corner. You can get a charged heavy punch off this back throw, Oki. So you can do drive rush, charge heavy punch, and it'll, I think, counter hit. Or maybe it'll trade with mashed forefront, but that's an option. Again, off of forward throw, you can do meaty heavy punch. And then tick throw off of it. So just so you don't, you know. Okay, we're fine. Now here, I probably would have tried to jump out of the corner. It's like, you get the force knockdown. Why are we backing up? Like, you hit him. Like, just get out of there, you know? Just get out of there. Dash forward. Try to take Oki. Whatever. But I probably just tried to get out of the corner. Okay. I like that you reacted to that. We're fine here still. Okay. Mash harder. That was definitely punishable. That was also definitely... Like, he killed himself a couple times with these high dive kicks. So I think if you just kind of learn that... And again, this is not Oki that should happen mid-screen, but you're not back rising. And I know I mentioned that earlier, but just so you know, like, these throw loops you're getting hit by mid-screen, they're actually, like, they don't exist. Okay, they actually just don't exist if you back rise, which is why you need to do it, like, almost every time you get knocked down. Okay, boom. Punish counter. How do we continue our offense? Command grab him again. Okay. You're going to get by that quite a lot because you just tech a lot. At least in this game. The last game you didn't really tech that much. Okay, boom. There, it worked out for you. Punish counter. I like it. I would think about spending level 3 here. Because I think it's going to put him in gifts for game. So if you do this into level 3, it had about 2,000 damage. and then I think you probably put him in a gifts for game. I would think about it. I don't know that I would do it, but it would be something that I would think about doing for sure. Especially if you do a different route here. If you do like OD, slam, into light kick quadriga, into level 3, then it's definitely her health is in the yellow. So I would have thought about it. Okay, again. If you know, and it is kind of predictable that this guy's doing that, just be ready for it with DI. Drops his combo. Back throws you. It's fine. Hey, you jumped it. Good. Ah, that was the win. That was the win. He's dead. He's definitely dead. And you did. Okay. But even so, you didn't try to spend. So, like, this should have just been medium punch. Medium punch Gladius into level 3. Right? Do it into level 3. Get a win. Knock him out. Call it quits. And you did it again! And you didn't even try to spend level 3. Why didn't you even try to spend level 3? You cannot be greedy with meter. If it will kill, you have to. You have to spend it. Maybe level 1 would have killed. I'm honestly not sure. I would have just done this combo, except I would have canceled in level 3, which you didn't even try to do. You only did. Don't be greedy with meter. Because right now you did a tremendous job saving your meter for a round that didn't happen. Okay? So, just, you cannot afford to hoard it. Let's go on to the next game. Okay, so second game against this Cammy. After the first game, our thoughts are what? They just want to dive kick. Okay? They just want to dive kick. So I'm just going to wait for them to jump, and I'm going to anti-air them. And if you need help with that, I just posted a video last week on anti-airs. Go check it out. Like there, if you charge Light Punch Gladius, you punish them. There, again. Try to do it again. You can't be so scared about getting thrown. Because it's just not that scary. Okay. Throw you. Again, this Oki shouldn't exist. Okay, what do we do? Okay, that's fine. Again, I'll say this. Do the reset and command throw less. Okay, it's risky if they jump it. I promise you, you will win more if you only command grab here like 30% of the time. Okay, if you do back heavy punch a lot, like more often than not, after this charge stand heavy punch, if you go for the combo, you will, I promise you, win more of your games. I promise you, you will. Okay, boom. Could have killed there. So this is something where you have to be really aware of it. But this definitely could have been boom, boom, OD slam, drive rush, back heavy punch, OD Superman punch. Like, there's a route to kill here. I promise you there's a route to kill here. Work on understanding it. To be honest, though, this is close enough that I think if you just do OD slam into quadriga, it probably kills. I don't know, but I think it probably kills. Alternatively, you do medium punch. Okay, now drive rush cancel, back heavy punch, medium punch TC, drive rush cancel. Like, you definitely could kill here. So just kind of be aware of that. You win anyway, but you could have won faster. Without, you know, you could have removed some uncertainty, I guess. Okay. Have to be ready to whiff punish. Okay, this is -5 probably. If you're doing crouch jab here, it's a punish. Instead, she acts like it's plus. It's not. You definitely could have won that. Okay. Here, hit DI a little bit late, looks like. Stuff happens. Okay. Now we're getting throw looped. Okay, throw tech. That's good. Now get out of the corner. Okay, walk forward. If you get a knockdown like this, you have to take advantage of it. You have to like dash or drive rush or jump or something. You can't like you took a guess, it paid off. You have to make it pay off. Because if you get out of the corner there, who knows what happens the rest of the round. So you have to maximize that opportunity. Okay, last round. I don't hate it. She hasn't really done a lot of grounded approach options in the first game. And in this game, it's been a lot of dive kick. So it's probably not going to hit a ton. There's another dive kick. That was probably even. Maybe you were +1. Back throw. Okay, we're good here. Again, don't do that empty. It doesn't really get you anything. Here, if you notice yourself air to air, hit light kick. Jump light kick. Would have won there, I guarantee it. Back rise, and all of a sudden Roki's a lot worse. Same thing. Can't react to DI. No combos from Cammy, huh? That's just bad. Okay, you get another shot. To be honest with you, I would not blame you if you did wake up level 3 here. Didn't bait it. That's fine. Jump. Neutral jump, we tack. Understandable, but it just has to be one of those things where you have to really pay attention to what their habits are. I think that was a very common bait that this guy did, where it was like jump forward, light kick, neutral jump, and I think he did it 2 or 3 times, and he didn't throw you at all after it. So just kind of pay attention to that. I know it can be hard in the moment, but okay. On to the next contestant. So throughout the video, I talked as if I was going to do another one, and at the start, I had intended to do 2 in 1 video, but it's just too much. So hope this is helpful, and as always, have a good time.